Yeah?
Hey, Elizabeth, how you doing?
My cord. What happened? Those bruises on your neck.
Bo attacked him.
What?
Cord was trying to have a few words with Tina before she plunged into marrying Bo, but Bo decided to put an end to the discussion by throwing a stranglehold on Cord.
Oh, my dear. Are you all right?
Wait, it's just a little stiff right now, but I'll be all right.
Well, I should think so. What happened then? Did Bo and Tina proceed with the ceremony?
Who knows, huh?
I see. Well, I'll leave you two alone. Actually, I just came in to get my reading glasses. Oh, here they are. Cord, perhaps you should see a doctor about those bruises.
Oh, no, I'll be fine. Thank you, Elizabeth.
I do hope so. Good night.
Good night. Well, look, I think I'm gonna head back over to Ace's. Maybe if I take a hot bath, that'll make me feel a little bit better.
Good idea.
I'll give you a call tomorrow, all right? Maybe between the two of us, we can figure out why Bo went crazy like that and why he knew you by name, huh?
I'll see what I can come up with.
Yeah, me too. Listen, thanks for saving my life.
Anytime.
Good night.
So just give me one good reason why we can't go through with this ceremony.
I told you. My heart's not in it right now, Tina.
Why, because of the fight with Cord or because Cindy showed up? What is she doing here anyway?
Yeah, for openers.
Well, look, if it's them, they're gone now. So you can just forget about that. And, well, I don't know, the fight was kind of romantic. I've never had a man go to battle for me at the altar before. And I mean, when Cord barged in here, you showed him that nothing is going to stop your love for me.
Tina, I lost my temper. Don't try to make me out to be some kind of a hero, okay?
But you are. Well, you are a hero to me, and it just proves to me that we're meant to be together. I mean, look at all the obstacles we've overcome so far to get to this point. And look, whatever is bothering you, I promise you, I'll make it all better. Everything will be wonderful.
I can't do it. Not now. I've got too much on my mind right now. We'll talk about this later, okay?
But where are you going? Bo? Oh, you can't leave me standing at the altar. Cord, how could you do this to me?
I can't stand this waiting. Without Todd, I'm nothing. I keep watching the door, hoping that he'll walk through it and he'll come into my life forever. Well, right on cue. What happened?
I made a fool out of myself, that's what happened. I just about begged Charlie for an Angel Burger franchise. He basically smiled and looked in my face and said, "Sorry, kid, no way."
You asked him for a franchise?
Yeah. After all the work you and I did on this project, I figured it was the least they could do. But you know what he told me? I had to come up with $50,000 just like everybody else.
Where are you going to get that kind of money?
I didn't think I'd have to get that kind of money. You know something? Angel Burgers is going to be the hottest fast food corporation in America, and Charlie's cutting out my chances of getting in on the ground floor.
Wait, don't you think maybe you're being a little too hard on him?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's true. We didn't have anything in writing, but after all the work that I did, I figured I deserved more from Charlie.
I'm sorry. I know how much this means to you.
You know, this was the first chance I had to provide you with the kind of life you deserve. Damn it. How am I going to come up with $50,000?
Well, I'd offer you the money from my mom's estate, but you know it's in a trust and I can't touch it until I'm 25.
Wait a minute. We could get the bank to lend us the money. All we have to do is put up your trust as collateral.
I don't know, Wade. Do you think this Angel Burger franchise thing is going to work?
Yeah, it's going to work. It's a sure thing. Listen, Charlie told me this morning they just sold 2 more franchises. We just got to move fast so we can get a good location.
Well, if you think it'll fly.
It'll fly, I promise.
Okay, then, let's go for it.
Great. Then we'll go to the bank first thing in the morning, right?
Oh, no, I can't.
Why not?
Well, Randy's coming over tomorrow, and the day after that to help me work on my scenes.
Wait a minute. Didn't you just tell me that Randy got made producer of Fraternity Row?
Yeah.
Well, then what's he coming all the way out here to rehearse your scenes for? Doesn't he have enough to do doing whatever it is that producers do?
Well, he really went to the wall for me, and having me prove myself means a lot to him. And to me, too. And you know, I think I'm really lucky to have Randy helping me work on my scenes.
Well, okay. Let's just drop it. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow. Let's just go.
Wait, where are we going?
To bed.
No. I mean, I can't. I still have 5 more pages to memorize before Randy comes over tomorrow.
Well, hey. We wouldn't want good old Randy to think you haven't been giving it your all now, would we?
Wait, please.
Look, I'm gonna go upstairs, and when you finally decide to come up, don't wake me.
Garth, you've been tiptoeing around the truth since you brought me up here. Now I insist that you tell me everything.
Very well. But first you must promise to hear me out. It is essential that you understand and forgive your father for what he had to do.
I'm listening.
Well, as you know, your father was a very proud man. He vowed that you would never suffer the humiliation that your mother suffered when her family disowned her and left her without a shilling. He wanted to ensure your happiness. Unfortunately, as a result of a number of bad investments, he ended up on the brink of financial disaster.
That's ridiculous. If what you're saying is true, how is my father then able to manage to maintain Wellesley Hall or a penthouse in London, or this mansion for that matter?
Well, about a year ago, he joined forces with Elizabeth Saunders. Asa Buchanan had wrested a company away from her, and she swore to get it back, plus the rest of the Buchanan fortune. Your father saw this as a means to replenish his coffers, so he agreed to help Elizabeth. Now, along with this man who is impersonating Beau, and finally bring the Buchanan empire to its knees.
I don't believe you. Daddy would never be capable of such a thing.
But don't you understand? He did it all for you. He was concerned for your future happiness. He knew he wasn't long for this earth because of his heart. He wanted to provide for you after he died.
Look, I am well aware of Daddy's love and concern for me. But that does not excuse the fact that you are still holding innocent people prisoners. Now, I demand that you release them, Garth.
I can't do that. Not until we've executed our plan.
Then you leave me no other choice but to notify the police.
You do that, and everything that you call your own, this house, your friends, your money, everything will be lost to you.
I don't care. It was all ill-gotten anyway. If losing everything is my only way to absolve myself, then so be it.
Well, it's all very well for you. You can start afresh. What about your father? What about his memory? What about his reputation? He can't absolve himself. The honored name of Lord Henry Layton will be ruined forever if you expose us now.
No, that mustn't happen, Garth. My father was a good and decent man. The world mustn't remember him by his mistakes.
Then you'll keep this discovery a secret.
Oh, I don't know what I'll do. Too much has happened for me to think clearly right now.
I need to know now, Joanna, before we leave for London.
I am in no condition to go to London tonight. You'll just have to tell the pilot to go on without us.
What about your father's funeral?
We'll make arrangements to go tomorrow. Right now, I need to go to bed.
Joanna!
I said I'm going to bed. I shall give you my answer in the morning.
Don't take another step.
I know you haven't eaten yet because I checked with the Sarge before I came over.
You're not trying to bribe me, are you?
No, I just want to apologize for a lousy lunch and for my suggesting that you leave the force. Honey, I don't know what came over me.
I do. You got sick of waiting up for me, wondering what might have happened to me, wondering what's going on in my head when I am around. Sick of a lot of things that are my fault.
Still, you love your work and I had no right to ask you to leave it. You see, I thought that when we got married, well, I just had this fantasy that you'd come home at 5 o'clock every day, and on Saturdays you'd take Sammy to the park, and then on Sundays we'd all go for drives.
And what about Designs by Delilah?
Well, in my fantasy, I didn't really have any problem with Designs by Delilah, which isn't fair, and so I was thinking, well, maybe we could compromise.
You give a little, I give a little.
Can we manage to try that?
Well, I'm certainly willing to give it a try. Do I have to make any promises?
Just to forgive me and to know that I love you and that you'll love me and you can think about all that during dinner.
There's nothing to think about. I do forgive you. I do love you. And I do know how much you love me.
Delilah? Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't sleep at all last night.
Well, neither did we. We were up most of the night just hoping and praying that Joanna was going to come and rescue us.
Yeah, me too. I mean, she seems so genuinely interested about helping us.
It's just nice to know that there's somebody out there who's not involved in this conspiracy, huh?
Now, wait, can we be sure about that?
I think she really had no idea of what her father was up to.
Well, unfortunately, our freedom doesn't depend entirely on Joanna. When I spent time with Garth in the hotel room and at that party, he struck me as being absolutely heartless. So with Henry being gone, does that mean that Garth's taken his place now?
I think Joanna seems like a very strong-willed woman.
Yeah, but maybe not enough to resist Garth pressuring her to keep her mouth shut.
No, we're reading much too much into this. Garth's just a pawn. You know, with Henry out of the game, I'm sure that his daughter's going to make up her own mind, and she's going to realize that letting us go is the right thing to do.
I certainly hope so.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well?
I spent a sleepless night thinking long and hard about what to do. I want you to know that I appreciate and understand everything that you told me last night, but I've decided to free the prisoners.
Joanna, I beg of you, my life is in your hands. Can you honestly say you care so little that you would ruin me for the sake of 3 people you know nothing about?
All I know is that I must answer to my own conscience.
Fine. If you want to destroy your future, that's your privilege, but you'll be dragging me down with you. Have you given that a moment's thought?
I'm calling the police, Garth, and there's an end to it.
I can't let you do that.
Will you let me go? I have made up my mind.
Then I seriously suggest you reconsider before you make this call.
Are you threatening me?
No, I'm warning you of the consequences.
I'm sorry to barge in like this, Joanna. I'm afraid I'm here on official police business.
Damn it. Elizabeth, why didn't you tell me that Cindy was back in Landview?
To avoid the kind of scene that I walked in on last night. What were you planning to do? Murder her in her sleep?
Of course not. What kind of a fool do you think I am?
The kind that would let his personal vendettas stand in the way of everything we have worked for. In case you have forgotten, your mission last night was to marry Tina and not engage in a brawl with Cord.
I told you he came barging into the ceremony trying to stop the whole thing. Now, what was I supposed to do, bow out gracefully?
Well, if you hadn't been thrown by Cindy's sudden appearance, you could have gone through with the ceremony when she and Cord left.
Don't lecture me, Elizabeth. Cindy has destroyed any love that I ever felt for her when I found out that she was going to double-cross me.
How?
Never mind about that. What really matters right now is that I have a chance to make her pay for it.
Now you listen to me. I will not let you destroy our plans. We've worked too hard, sacrificed too much.
You haven't sacrificed a thing. I had my identity changed to make this succeed.
And it will succeed if you forget about Cord and your sister and concentrate on Tina.
You stop snapping your fingers and ordering me around. Lady, I'm sick of it. I'm not your servant.
Oh, God. Why in heaven's name did I think I could trust you? You were a fool then, and you're an even bigger fool now.
Oh, you're the fool, Elizabeth. Or you never would have let Asa take your company away from you so easily. You're as driven by revenge as I am. All you want to see is Asa Buchanan groveling at your feet.
Yes. I want to repay him for all the suffering he's caused me. But at least I know how to control my desire for revenge until the time is right.
Well, I don't know how to just turn my emotions on and off the way you do, Elizabeth.
Well, you'd better find out how, and soon. Already, your temper has cost you control of Buchanan Enterprises.
No, don't you dare lay that on my doorstep. It was you and Henry that caused me to lose control of that company and lose it to Clint. If you hadn't stayed on top of me to sell all of those companies, Clint would have never found out what was going down.
Oh, please. I've heard all your excuses. But that doesn't change the fact that thanks to your incessant failures, we now have to take even more drastic measures.
What's going on here?
I'm sorry, but that little scene at the chapel yesterday prevented us from being properly introduced. I'd like to make up for that oversight. Bo Buchanan.
Cindy London.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Cindy. I hope your first impression doesn't get in the way of us becoming better acquainted.
I try to keep an open mind.
Well, that's great, because you seem to have walked in the middle of a slight misunderstanding between my nephew and me. And I'd hate for you to think that I solve all my problems by attacking people.
Bo is really quite even-tempered when he wants to be.
Yes, as a matter of fact, that little scrape with Cord is the reason I came by today. I'd like to speak to you in private. You will excuse us, won't you, Elizabeth?
It's okay, Elizabeth. I think you can leave me alone with him. I don't think Mr. Buchanan will put me in any half Nelsons while you're gone.
All right. I'll be in the solarium if you need me.
Now, Mr. Buchanan.
No, please, call me Bo.
Okay, Bo. What's on your mind?
I wanted to thank you so much for letting me cry on your shoulder. I really needed someone I could talk to.
Oh, after what you told me about last night, that's got to have been a terrible nightmare for you.
Oh, it was. Men are such beasts. I mean, they really are. One minute, they can't get enough of you, and the next, they don't want to have anything to do with you.
But Cord, when he interrupted that wedding of yours, it must have been because he was concerned about you.
Oh, yeah? Then why did Cindy save him, huh? Why did she show up there? Is he dating her now? What is she doing here anyway?
Wait a second. I hate to answer a question with a question, but I got to ask you a question. I mean, just why is it that you and Bo are getting married?
Because we love each other. At least I thought he loved me. Now I'm not so sure anymore.
Well, yeah, but you two are so... Well, you're so different. I mean, I remember a time when you two were just at each other all the time.
Well, people change.
Yeah, I guess they do, but I do hope that you and Bo do not have the same ailment as dear cousin Asa. I mean, I just hope that you don't have that forget-who-you-are-itis.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder that myself.
I think that I have to go help Gilbert in the kitchen because we're about to open up soon.
But
I think that Cord wants to talk to you alone.
But I don't want to talk to him one...
Hi, Tina. Heron told me where I could find you.
Well, you can just unfind me because I have absolutely nothing to say to you.
Listen, Tina, I'm sorry.
You are not. You probably tickled pink that I didn't get married last night.
Well, girl, I'm not going to pretend that that's not such a bad thing. Listen, I am sorry that you're feeling so badly right now and that you're in this kind of pain.
You know, Didi was right. Bo is a fake.
Whoa, I think you lost me there, Tina. When did she say that? At the party?
No, Bo rejected her, and I guess she got crazed, and she went back to her motel room and scribbled it on a bathroom towel and some lipstick.
How do you know about that?
Because I went to that room because I was going to chew out Bo, and nobody was there, and all I found was Dee Dee's message. But you know what? I think she was wrong just to include Bo. All men are fakes. They are. They all tell you that they just can't get enough of you. But then you know what? When it comes right down to it, they all lose their nerve when it comes time to stand there and say, say I fill in the blank. Take thee, Tina, to be my lawful wedded wife.
I can't stand this waiting. Without Todd, I'm nothing. I keep watching the door and hoping that he'll walk through it and he'll come into my life forever. I have problems with that part.
Yeah, because you're punching it too hard. Just relax. Let it come out naturally. Try it again. Come on, give me the script. You don't need it. Just look in my eyes and talk to me.
I can't stand this waiting any longer. I'm nothing without Todd. I keep watching the door, hoping that he'll walk through it and he'll come into my life forever.
Yeah, you see, that was much better, right? How did it feel?
Better.
You've got to go beyond the words, you know? Try to understand the dynamic of the character so everything just comes from inside of you, right? Who is this person? What does she want? Why is she happy or sad, whatever? You understand?
Yeah, I guess I'm still just a little uptight.
Why? You've got terrific natural talent, right? Just let it shine through.
Just be myself, right?
That's right. See, that's the quality that I first picked up on the minute that I saw you. Gino captured it in the ad campaign. Soon all the cameras down at Fraternity Row are going to see the same thing. You're going to be an overnight sensation. I'll be able to say I knew you when.
Well, that would be nice, but right now my main concern is not letting you down.
How could you possibly let me down?
Well, Randy, it's your show, and you went to a lot of trouble to get me on it, and I just want to live up to your expectations.
Trust me. Look, I made it to the top because I can spot raw talent and turn it into star quality. Believe me, you've got what it takes. Kid, you stick with me, people will be lining up for your autograph. Where's Wade?
Oh, he's at work. Which gives me the chance to ask you for a really big favor.
Hey, anything you want, kid, just name it.
How dare you bring this murderer into my house? I want you to remove him immediately.
Joanna, I swear I had nothing to do with your father's death.
You withheld my father's heart medication when he needed it. You might as well have put a gun to his head and pulled the trigger.
Why don't we just all calm down for a second, all right?
I have a better suggestion, and that is that you leave this instant, because unless you have a court order permitting you to enter this house, I will file trespassing charges.
I always play it by the book, Mr. Buckley. Now, if you'll follow me, I have some more questions to ask you about Lord Henry's death.
Very well, but you'll be wasting your time.
I'll be the judge of that.
How dare you set foot in here and desecrate my father's memory? Have you no shame, no respect?
Respect? That's real funny when you consider your father didn't have a shred of respect for human life.
You filthy liar, get out of my house.
Your house? This is your father's house, don't you know that? And it's tainted with the blood of innocent lives.
Stop.
Everything else.
Do you hear me? Stop it! I curse the day I ever met you,
Believe me, the feeling is mutual.
What the hell's going on here?
Nothing. It's just Robert being his usual cruel self.
I want you off the premises now, and don't you dare set foot in this house again.
If you don't watch it, I'm gonna break your finger.
Come on, Rob, just let it go. Sorry for the intrusion, Joanna. Come on.
So you seriously think you can trust the police after Robert obviously has them in his pocket?
All Robert is interested in is smearing my father's name to protect himself.
So you'll forget that you ever set foot in the bomb shelter?
Yes. I must protect my father's memory against Robert's accusations. But you must promise me that you will safeguard my welfare along with my father's reputation.
I promise.
And one other thing. The prisoners are not to be harmed. If anything happens to them, I will tell everything I know.
You have my word.
Very well. We shall go to London, lay my father to rest, and then decide what to do next. But I warn you, Garth, I am my father's daughter. If you go back on your word, you will have me to answer to.
So what's the favor?
I couldn't possibly ask you for anything else. You've done enough for me already.
Hey, if I can help you in any way, I don't want you to hesitate to tell me what you need.
Well, I was wondering if there's any possibility of me getting an advance on my first 2 months' salary.
before we even shot the first episode.
Sorry, I knew it was out of the question.
No, I didn't say that. But that's a very unusual request. At best, it's going to be difficult to swing.
I understand.
I hate to let you down like that. I know you wouldn't ask unless it was important.
It is. Very. You see, Wade, he really wants to make it on his own, and if he just had the money...
You don't need to explain. You've got your reasons. That's good enough for me. Look, I'll tell you what. Give me a couple of days. I'll see if I can't put together an advance for you.
Thank you. Thank you. You don't know how much it would mean to me right now.
I've got a pretty good idea. Besides, that's how this business works, right? We help each other out by exchanging favors.
I don't see what I could possibly ever do for you.
I don't know. But don't worry about it, kid. I'm sure I'll think of something.
First of all, I would like to apologize for my behavior at that chapel last night. I've never acted like that before in my entire life.
Well, what made you start now?
Well, it could have been that I was about to marry the woman I loved, and all of a sudden, Cord came barging into the chapel and wanted to stop the entire ceremony.
Cord said he only wanted to have a few words with Tina before she went through with the wedding.
Oh, I know. And I let him have those words, too. I even tried to be reasonable with him. But he started saying some very nasty things, and I guess I just lost control, much to my shame. But you do see, I'm not such a bad guy. It's just that I don't run scared when somebody tries to push me up against a wall.
Well, I'm not one to take sides, and if you say you had just provocation for your actions, who am I to say otherwise?
I like the way you think.
So, did you and Tina finally go through with the wedding?
No, we've postponed it to a later date.
Why?
That's just a lot of boring stuff. Really, I'd like to get to know you better.
Fine.
So, what brings you to Landview?
I'm looking for my brother, Patrick.
Oh?
I found out that he'd left the psychiatric clinic he was in, and I wanted to see him. I figured he might come back here to Landview.
And did he?
I don't know. I haven't found him yet, but I will.
You know, maybe I could help you look for him.
Maybe. Excuse me. Sanders' residence?
Cindy, how you doing? It's Cord.
Hi, what's up?
Listen, can you meet me for lunch?
Sure.
I think I may have figured out how Bo recognized you, but I'm gonna need your help to prove it one way or another.
Okay, where?
Holden Towers.
I'll see you there.